Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in San Antonio, Texas, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agents, Jacques, Benatar, and Norman Muller with Century 21 for making this tour possible. Also, the builder, Image Homes, and I'll make sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, starting on the exterior, family, the first thing you notice is that contemporary look. Now, as far as the material is concerned, you are going to have stucco, stacked stone, and then the tile accents surrounding. Now, once we continue here, you see the massive motor court. Straight ahead, you're going to have a single car garage bay with the privacy glass, and then your additional 2-car garage right over here to the left. Now you see the modern light fixtures on the exterior as well, and then you have some continuation right over here, so you have additional parking available. Now, what's fascinating about the home is this massive covered front porch. I tell you, once you drive by this one, you will not miss it. Now you have the pillars right over here, and then you see you have that beam as well. Then as we continue in here, you see the tile accents continuing, and then a massive covered front porch. Before we continue, I'll show you the front, and then we'll make our way inside the home. Okay, so now as we continue here, look at this massive pivot door. Then you have the transom window right above there, the soaring ceilings inside of the foyer, and right over here in the porch. But let me go ahead and get my shoes off, and then we'll make our way inside. Okay, so as always, let me show you the front door from the inside. You can see the transom windows, but as I pan upwards, look at the soaring ceilings. Gorgeous beams right there, cove lighting inside of there, and then this massive window right over here. Now you're gonna see the floor to ceiling windows throughout the home in various rooms, and I think you certainly will appreciate it. Now, let's continue this way and we'll make our way around the perimeter. Now look at this. You see the floating ceiling design right there with the cove lighting again. This is gonna lead to your primary suite, but let's start right over here to the left inside of our study. Look how spacious this is. Now, of course, you could always add the blinds for increased privacy, but why would you not want to take advantage of these incredible views? Now, as I pan you upwards, you see the architectural ceiling right there. You have that floating ceiling design, modern light fixture right above your desk, and then the floor to ceiling windows just really sets the tone. Now, what I'll do is stand on this side so you can see the full scope of the room. So a ton of space. Then you have the custom cabinetry, and you'll notice the same sleekness throughout the home as well. But as always, let's open this up. I love how modern that looks. You already got your built-in shelving ready to go. And this is a spec home, so it's ready for its new owners right now. So I always encourage you, if it is something where you are interested, make sure to take advantage before it's too late. Okay, so now you can see this is set up as a den, but this will be your first bedroom here. So as I pan upwards, you see the continuation of the floating ceiling with the cove lighting. You got some additional windows, but a queen bedroom set would fit extremely comfortable in here. And then again, you add those blinds right there if you wanted to make this a room. Okay, so now as we go ahead and continue, you know I like to show you every single angle possible. This is going to be leading you to the hallway, and you'll see where to in just a second, but you do have the ensuite. Now, what's fascinating about this is the massive 14-foot ceilings in here. Look at that. So you see the floating ceiling right over there, porcelain tile in here, shower tub combo. Then you do have the chrome, the floating vanity here, under cabinet lighting, the LED mirror, right? Oh my goodness, I can go on and on. So in here you have quartz countertops. Now what you will notice is throughout the home, that sleekness is certainly apparent. So you're gonna have the flat panel cabinet doors in here, and then the chrome handles right there. But look at this. So you see you got your massive shower niche. I just love the height of these ceilings here. And of course you got your chrome waterfall shower head. And then this is your walk-in closet over here. So you have the bathroom closet combination, but you already got your built-in chrome rods and shelving and some additional shelving over here. So this is the very first time we've seen image homes on this particular channel. So far, so good. I'm hoping you're loving it as much as I am. Just that contemporary look. Now, it really just depends on your personal preference. If you like more of a traditional look, then of course, maybe not your cup of tea. But for those of you that want to stay modernized and, up with the trends, I think you'll appreciate this. Okay, so now you got a little recessed area over here, perfect for some decor. And don't worry, we won't miss a thing inside of this house. Now, right behind me is the primary suite. But as always, we'll make our way around the perimeter. We won't miss a thing. Hopefully, knock on wood. So now you got your coat closet here. Again, you had a single car garage bay and then that 2-car garage bay. So everything will come full circle for you. So you got a bedroom over there, but let's go ahead and continue this way as if we're walking in for the first time and touring this together. Look how spacious this is. Okay, so you have the outlets inside the baseboards. I didn't mention, but we have white oak floors throughout the property. And then the matching doors and cabinetry. So you got a spacious closet over here. Already got your built-ins ready to go. I'll close that for you and then just show you the full scope of the room. So again, the floating ceiling here, got your additional egress window straight ahead right there. And let's take a look at our ensuite. So again, the sleekness, absolutely beautiful. I want to show you every inch of the property. So from floor to ceiling, again, that porcelain tile, and that even extends where our floating ceiling is. But in here, look at this. So walk-in shower, 0 threshold. Again, that rain shower head right there, porcelain tile. Then you got your massive shower bench. And then this is glass enclosed as well. So what you will notice is the glossiness. Once we head to the kitchen, you'll see the glossy cabinet doors. But when that is paired with the chrome hardware, the handles, doorknobs, things like that, it really just does a great job of complementing one another. And of course, I encourage you to let me know in the comments if you agree. And then this is where our, first bedroom was. So that just kind of comes full circle for you. So now, before we get over there, I was about to get too excited. Let's go ahead and see our next bedroom. So again, you got your floating ceiling in here, perfect for a queen bedroom set, possibly even a king. Love to see it. Now, right behind this door, I know some folks may want to add a pocket door just so you don't have to worry about, each door hidden, each other, but really just depends. I mean, I love the sleekness still. Okay, so let's continue to our ensuite, see how we're looking in here. Now, again, you have the floating vanity right there, similar fixtures, and that 0 threshold that we love. And you even got your shower bench in here. So the first bedroom, or the first ensuite rather, that we've seen had the shower tub combo. The additional 2, as you can see, they have the walk-in shower. Okay, now before we get you there, let's make sure you see inside this door right over here. Got your nice closet right there. And you even have some outlets inside of there. Okay. Now this is what I'm talking about. Before we continue, look at the recessed area right over here. So you could use this as a vanity, right? Cosmetic area. If you want to have this as a coffee station, you could do that as well. But look at this. Look at the windows there, bringing in some natural light. And then right to the right is our ensuite. Before we see that, let's see our primary bedroom. Look at this, family. Okay, so the 14-foot ceilings extends in here, but the floor to ceiling windows. Oh my goodness. Now you have the automatic or automation inside of here. So you go ahead and put down those shades or blinds, but you have a king bed with your two massive nightstands. And look at that, your Dimplex electric fireplace. Now you have the floor to ceiling stacked stone, the same material that we've seen on the exterior of the property. Then some additional windows. Looking at your backyard oasis, you have that infinity pool. I know you can see through the windows, it's hard to miss. But then look at this. So you're surrounded by the mature trees. Based on what Norman was telling me, the listing agent, that little creek down there usually is dry, so you don't have to really worry about that. But you still have some privacy, and you don't have to worry about folks building right behind you. But let's stand on this angle. The white oak floors extends in here. You see that cove lighting right behind your headboard. And look how massive this is. And I can also appreciate the corner windows right over there. So a nice little sitting area to take advantage of. And of course, your fireplace. Now you have a quick access door leading you to your backyard as well. So if you want to take advantage of that, you certainly can do so. But now, heading into our ensuite. Look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna pan you upwards. Look at the beautiful ceiling design up there. Then you have that modern chrome chandelier hanging down. Massive freestanding tub, glass enclosed shower. I see our dual shower head with our waterfall. We'll see that in a second. You got some additional windows up there, bringing in some natural light. Then look at the two-tone porcelain tile. Now look at that. You got this floating design down here. So I'm noticing a lot of floating. You got your 3 additional windows here, or mirrors rather, with your LED lighting in there, cove lighting underneath there. And then I'll open up this shower for you. Look at that, very sleek, that minimalist feel, but still luxurious at the same time. Now, this is a dual entry walk-in shower, as you can see. Then you got a nice standalone bench right there, really neat. And then I'll even show you inside of some of these for you. So again, I mentioned earlier, you got the glossy cabinet doors and the glossy drawers down there. Plenty of shelving available, as you can see. Now you do have a pocket door for your water closet right there. But let's take a look at our walk-in closet. Okay, so you have your additional window right there, that inset drawers and cabinet doors with the glass panes. You got stack cabinets right above there as well, and that's floor to ceiling shelving to take advantage of. So let me know, is this enough space for you? Could this be something that would work for you? I mean, like we talk about, when it is the shelving from floor to ceiling, right? All that additional space that you get, you may not need an additional closet or more room, but of course I welcome all your feedback. And then you got your double sliding doors right over here as well, separating the ensuite. So if you were to close these, you have that sleekness. Bear with me one second. Let me close this for you. Look how sleek that looks. Really cool. Okay, now let's go ahead and continue and see the rest of the home. Now, that was just this wing of the house. Now we go to where the magic happens and where you probably definitely want to see. Now, as we continue over here, look at this. So you got some additional shelving right over here, perfect for some decor. You got recessed lights, and then the architectural lines for our baseboards right there. Here we go. Let's do a full pan before we continue. Beautiful. Okay. So now, starting right here, look at this. Massive ceilings throughout the common areas right here, as you can see, but floor to ceiling windows. Then you got the modern chandelier hanging down right above our dining room table. Look how open and spacious it is. You got a 6-seater dining room table, but you can see you can comfortably fit in a 8-seater, even possibly a 10-seater, and you have that panoramic view too. Look how sleek and beautiful this looks. And then let's head into the kitchen. Oh my goodness, very impressive. So the floating ceiling in here, but look at the architectural details again. So you got your massive island here. You got the Cambria countertops. Then of course, right over here, you see that continues over here. So we talk about the best money can buy. And then that extends up the backsplash. Then you got that tiling on our vent hood. And then the Gaggenau appliances. Look at our stove top. You got a 6-burner here. Then you see the inset cabinetries, cabinetry and drawers. Panel ready inset refrigerator. Now, I know you can appreciate the massive sink not in the island. For some reason, that's been like the biggest downfall of some of these beautiful homes, is when the sink is inside the island. So let me know if that's something you can appreciate. Now you see that, get your German appliances, and then as always, let's look in our refrigerator. And like I said, when it makes that little chime right there, brand spanking new, you got you a nice place. Okay, so now you got your wine fridge right over here. Looks like it holds up to 80 bottles. Don't hold me to that, but you got some additional stack cabinets right above there. And then now heading into our great room. Look how massive this is. Perfect for entertaining. So, you have your bedrooms and the places where, you want some seclusion and, some privacy. You have it on that wing, and then your entertaining wing on this side. So nice detail or nice floor plan in this particular instance. Now let's head to the corner over here and see the full scope. Beautiful. So white oak floors continuing in here. Then as you can see, you got your lower mantle right below your fireplace, as you can see right there. Then you have your Rasmussen fireballs inside of there. You may not have noticed that, but floor to ceiling, porcelain tile, then the beautiful sleek ceiling. What more could you really ask for, right? So the white oak floors does a great job of complementing the tiling in here. I really can appreciate that. But then also with the floor to ceiling windows, bravo. So you have plenty of storage available, even your floating shelving right above here with the LED strip. Again, and I'll give you a better close-up of our appliances. Now, before we do forget, I want to make sure I open up some of these, because I know some of my, long-term chefs, we want to see what's in there. So you got your soft close mechanism, even some additional drawers right here on your island. Of course, sometimes they host some agent opens and broker opens, so they are stocked up on supplies. Beautiful. And then even looking at the beautiful pendant light right there, I'll get you a close-up. Bravo. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue this way. Now, heading into our scullery right here. Look at this. So the dual entry, as you can see, even the glossiness continues this way. The flat panel cabinet doors, got some additional counter space. And this is, I would call this a working pantry for sure. I said scullery, but just a nice additional pantry for you. So continuing this way, you see we got our pocket door right over here. You got a secondary refrigerator, but then look at our laundry room. So a ton of additional cabinets here. More counter space. You got quartz again in here, picture window, inset cabinets in here, the two-tone cabinetry, I should mention. And then look how massive this washer and dryer is. You got a folding counter straight ahead over here. So now I have a really nice laundry room. Okay, so if you do have your guests over and they're hanging out, right? Now you got a powder bath. They don't have to worry about going to that wing of the house, as you can see, but you have your floating vanity right over here, and then the floating ceiling right over there with cove lighting. So very sleek, extremely modern. And then let's go ahead and continue. Okay, so if you haven't guessed it, straight ahead is our garage. We'll see that in just a second. This is your drop zone. Now you have cabinet doors right over here, but this is a perfect mudroom to take advantage of. You see your additional chrome handles right there. You got some additional storage. And then you see that automatic lighting. So you close the door and open it. And then look at this. So you already have the epoxy flooring in here. As you can see, that privacy glass, so you don't have to worry about folks seeing in or outwards. And then you have some additional storage. So even inside of the garage, you see the white oak custom cabinet doors. And then we'll see this one. So you got your water heater right here. You got two of those. And then the automatic lighting. Okay, so we definitely covered a lot. You even have some additional windows right over there. But you don't have to worry about privacy. Okay, so we covered a lot. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. Again, this will be from this angle, as you can see. And let's go ahead and continue this way. So you might be also wondering, what about that single car garage? So it appears that that one's not gonna have entry to the property. However, it is storage for, you know, your supercar or anything like that. You can just walk right in the front door or the additional garage bay. Now, as soon as we exit here, look at that. I'm telling you, those floor to ceiling windows just do something for me. Now, you see the additional stack zone back here, the infinity pool, some additional entertaining places, your indoor, outdoor living that we talk about as well. And then you see our deck over there overlooking that beautiful view. Let's do one more pan on this side before we continue. And I can show you that view from outside. Look at that. So you already got your outdoor grill right over here ready to go. Now the staging is just that, right? It is staging, but if it's something where you are interested, I certainly say it doesn't hurt to ask, see if we can negotiate something that makes sense for a potential buyer. Now look down there. Again, you got your incredible views. And of course, this beautiful view as well. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in San Antonio, Texas. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular property. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, please let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.